Right, I thought I'd do you a little video of how to replace the rear speakers in a 3-door MK6 Fiesta. I'm replacing the speakers. I've already done the fronts and one side of the back, but these are the speakers that are in there. They are 5x7s, and same as the other videos, they're not very good. With my stereo, with it having 40 watts output per channel, they're struggling and they sound rubbish. So I bought some, not overly expensive ones, because I don't need anything much in the actual cab of the, to replace the 4 standard speakers, because I've got 6x9s up on my parcel shelf which are amped up. Thing you want to do first is to get yourself, I don't know what size this is on here, an M8, well, this is a multi-spline. It's nice, isn't it? Bit dead spider. Yeah, so you need to get yourself an M8 multi-splined. I've got this sort of 3/8 ratchet, and you want to remove this seatbelt bracket and get that out of the way at the bottom. Right, so once that's unbolted, you need to gently just work that out, just bracket out the back, because that holds in the seat belt. It's just both same on both sides. Then of course that just makes the seat belt more accessible, because you're going to need that out of the way, because you're going to need to take all this trim panel up and out of the way. So the best thing to do next is to go to this door rubber and pull that out a good portion of that out. Once that's done, get under there, and then you can start. You need to get all of it like that. Be careful not to lose this, because this is the bracket, this is the little grommet that goes in there, that the bar for the seat belt goes into. So put that in a safe place. Once you've got the chair down and this is all pulled back, there is your speaker. Right, I'm going to do a video of just removing screws, but yeah, you get the gist. Once you've removed the screws, this speaker literally just comes out like that. The case has a little connector here, you just push that in, bosh. Then of course a bit crap. Yeah, so then you're left with this connector here, but so then of course once you've removed it, you can sort of just gently put that down somewhere, probably over there, and you can go and get your new speaker to replace that one with. Would you believe it? getting these speakers from Halfords because they were the cheapest I could find them online was £20. When after having a look, I found them that Halfords were selling them, so they were £15 each from Halfords. So I decided to buy them from Halfords because they work out £20 cheaper if you're buying a set of 4. And of course, you can add then. You can have them. You can order them online and have them delivered to you, because anything over, I think £20, they're doing free home delivery with them. So that's what I've done. So you can have a go and fetch them. You don't need any of the wiring and the screws. Or the bracket. It's just literally the speaker itself that you need. And as you can see, they're a 40 watt RMS, 120 watt maximum, so they're quite capable of doing it. But then what else I've done is I've bought some little adapter leads. Of course, I've got these online as well. These fit a multiple amount of Fords, the Mondeos, everything. That's what they look like. So you can connect the wires directly onto there, and as you can see, they're supplied with a wider and a more narrow spade connector, so you can get them, and a small one connects on like that, which is a negative. A positive does the same, fits on like that, and then when you go in, you can just rewire, screw them in, and then connect the plug straight into the wiring loom. It's already in the back of the car, saves cutting any wires. Of course, like I say, once you've got back in the car, the little wiring loom I've bought can just slot the speaker, so it goes straight back into the connection. Then just get on with bolting, or so in this case screwing the speaker back in to the panel where it fits. Now I found a little tip here. Once you've got the 4 screws in place, just do them up. Just only put them in sort of finger tight before you screw them all in fully. That way you can get the speaker sitting, well, you can actually get the screws in, so make sure the screws go in straight. So I'm going to carry on just screwing these in place now. There we are. Screws are fully tightened up. The speaker's sitting there nice and correctly. And what you want to do, any of these here white trim panels, you might find that when you pull this panel off, some of them stay seated in the hole, and it pulls them out of the brackets that they connect to in the door. So the best thing to do is just to remove these, and then you can just clip them, you know, just easily. They easily clip back into where they're supposed to be in the panel. I've got a special trim removal tool. Most men you'll find will have one of these. It's called a sort of flathead screwdriver. I found it worked really well, but yeah, so I had 4 of them left in there, so I'm going to go ahead and just put these trim panel retaining lugs back into the holders now. And also, so once you've inserted all those panel clips, best thing to do is go out the car from the outside, go in, and while you've still got this piece disconnected or removed, you can go in and slot that back into the hole from inside. You can slot that from outside in, and then you can start returning the trim back in its position. Right, once that panel's back in position, you can see that's all in there. It's all clipped back in really nicely. Maybe a little bit of a, what's the word, a little bit of an arse, but it does go in. Once you line the clips up, just push them all in home. That's all in there. You can then, of course, when you do it, make sure that this panel is sitting over the top of the panel you take it off, so you can get it back in. But then you can go ahead and just reposition and reinsert your door rubber down and round, and get that all back in place. Right, then you can put your back chair up, put the back swab back into place, and then you get your bar, skills blinded, right, and then you can feed that back into place there. Maybe dust or cobwebs. That's it. Make sure that's in there correctly. That back into the grommet. So you put the grommet in there before you put the panel back on, and then get your seatbelt retaining bar, and then bolt that back into place. Like this. There you go. And once that's done up nice and tight, make sure your seatbelt will adjust correctly as it's supposed to. Yep. And then remove your tools gently, carefully. And then we'll give it a try. See what it sounds like. Right, moment of truth. Keys in. Put the ignition on. And I know this is all for just the 4 speakers because I've got my amps switched off at the moment, so that'll do for me, because I haven't got any bass switched up on the stereo because so yeah, all in all, it's not a bad job. It's just a bit warm today. But good luck. Hope everybody else does well. And this video helps someone else out in the future.